fellow friends of Ukraine and members of the Ukrainian community, it's an honor to stand before you today and gather to celebrate the Independence Day of Ukraine. I also want to take a moment to thank my friend, Boston's Anissa Astabi-George, for getting me first involved and inviting me on her mission to the border of Ukraine and Poland back in April of 2022. It was this first mission, at a time when we were all pained by the damage being caused by the full-scale invasion, that we traveled to the border of Ukraine to first deliver aid and volunteer our time for helping Ukrainians fleeing the country. From this group grew a global network of connections that evolved into a nonprofit, which we named Actions Beyond Words. Our work, which Lottie shortly summarized, has involved delivering aid to the front lines and throughout Ukraine, whether that be fresh food, generators, or medical kits for the front line. This work has been only possible because of the work of many donors, partners, government partners, and both here in the United States and Ukraine, but mostly our brave volunteers who deliver aid throughout Ukraine, often within earshot of the sounds of the front lines. Today is a day of joy, of reflection, and inspiration. It's a day when we honor the strength and resilience and spirit of the Ukrainian people. In my travels, I have met countless everyday Ukrainians, government and community leaders, as well as Ukrainian soldiers and their families. I have been inspired by them all, as I am inspired by all of you who have showed up today to demonstrate your support. But I will be honest, at times it is hard to stay motivated while doing this work. We are all volunteers working before and after hours to make it all happen, and it can be heavy. A member of our team, a Canadian named Tanko Inat, was killed by a Russian attack while volunteering close to the front lines in September of 2023. So knowing the hard truths and the scale of the crisis, I admit, negative thoughts do creep in at times, and there is doubt of the impact of our contribution. At times, my contribution feels like a drop in the bucket, and maybe it is. But it is the drops in the bucket, one after another, that fill the bucket to its brim. And it's by the drops, one after another and one at a time, that fill our surging seas. So if your contribution feels small, if it feels like a drop in the bucket, know that it is not meaningless, because it is our collective work. Each individual, each community, each organization, and each nation that will bring progress and bring about change for good. The fight for and defense of independence is a journey nations throughout history have embarked, and it's a journey that the people of Ukraine have walked with courage and determination for decades. From the struggles of the past to the challenges of the present, Ukraine has showed the world what it means to fight for freedom, to fight for democracy, and fight to the right to determine one's own self-destiny. So as we celebrate today, we remember those who have sacrificed so much for Ukraine's independence. We honor the heroes. We honor the heroes who have given their lives to protect the sovereignty and future of their homeland. Their bravery inspires us all and reminds us that freedom is never free. It is earned through the unrelenting courage and sacrifice of many. You know, I grew up playing hockey here in Massachusetts, and there's an unwritten rule in the world of hockey players that you don't shy away from a fight when it comes to defending your teammates. And Ukraine is on our team. Yes. They are on the teams of nations like America and others who throughout history have fought for the side of democracy, for the side of independence, and for the side of freedom. And so you can imagine why I find it so unacceptable that some political leaders in our country do not stand with Ukraine and support their fight. And while this is not a political event, and nor this is not a political speech, unfortunately, the war in Ukraine has become a political issue. And so I would be remiss if I did not recognize that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance would be disastrous for the continued independence of Ukraine. A nation fighting for freedom deserves American support. They deserve American support, and if we do not, then we undermine the very values upon which this great nation was built, and we fail to live up to that important rule: protect your teammates.